Sure.
And kind of what you think.
Yeah.
What you see in
Okay.
And then the only other thing we really kind of working on is getting him to do like a bigger truck.
Yep.
And he's kind of like got the idea.
Okay.
So maybe
Okay.
part of that is
Are you writing tomorrow too?
yes.
Okay, so we got 2 days.
Yeah.
So, you know that he took the register for Western.
I don't know for years. I don't like let's see.
No, I know. I know exactly who you are.
Okay.
And so
You're one of my favorites.
it is so cool to see her at the show because everybody's like, wow,
Yeah.
pretty chords, you know?
Yeah. And who's this rider who can sit like that?
Exactly.
Well, that's something else I want you to
Okay.
look at is sensing on him because I think I have a problem when like sensing I think about having down and up because I'm always posting. But sitting him, I feel like I make him quit because I sit too hard and fast on him.
Okay.
And I'm trying to figure out how to like
Flow it forward.
yes, and
You're what?
I'm struggling. I was about in tears a couple weeks ago.
Because it's so hard. Yeah.
You didn't hear her, don't worry, he does it all. Or she does it all.
And he's so fun up.
Audrey, babe, what you doing?
Well, and it's interesting, like, there's been some horses in my life. Okay. Nothing's better than the dogs in me.
Sorry.
We're all entertained. There's a little bit of this, like, so when you think about, like, the level of depth of the stride, sometimes for some horses, it works for me to, like, overdo the down, right? And, like, jump down and, like, whoomp, whoomp, whoomp into it. Some horses, if I do that, I, like, drop it down too much. So some horses, instead, if you're making, like, a circle of, like, the trot, you know, in the seat, it's like abs, 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 abs. But if I can control a little bit more in my lower abs to almost make it longer but more shallow, sometimes that can help. And that's a lot of strength. And if you've done a lot of posting trotting in your life and not like, if you're like, 20% of my life has been done sitting the trot, then that's gonna just take some time.
And like I think he was trying to explain it as like go over the water wheel instead of sit under. Because I think I'm under. That's not like go over, and that's where he is. And he's kind of funky to walk. Like he gets really like easy.
Yeah.
But I really been working on it, and I think this morning I think like just going with him, I try and hold it, and I'm
Yes.
nervous instead of going with him because the instant I like walking around here.
Yes.
When I go with him, he's fine, he's relaxed.
Yeah, Denali is the same. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm just struggling with sitting him right now because we are doing more.
yeah, and he's getting more sensitive.
Well, and then the concept is when you're trotting, actually like using your eyes. to kind of-
Yeah, so this is an interesting thing about the water wheel thing. Hold him up here. Hold my gosh. And like for me, I'm a behind the water wheel. I have always like and then I like grab the energy on the way up to like put it to my hand. But like with Denali, who's like a lot like him, like the walk gets tight and then the trot has to find a big swing, canter's tight. There is this like walking, like I think about my two femurs of like in a way, this like energy like down, like you know, and like we have to a little bit place his front legs so that he doesn't run over the front legs. So and that's when you think about your thigh, that's getting up over the water wheel too. So sometimes there's a down and back and down and back. Sometimes there's going to be a forward, 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 forward. Does that make sense? So like the swivel seat is more like this, and the thigh is more like that. And so we'll just play with like, are we here or are we there?
But yeah, after the last show, I was like, it's definitely something I would want someone to like be happy.
Yeah, we need to figure that out. And like, what's my work? Okay.
I think they're gonna be.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so
I was
cool.
really hoping they would take Saturday off.
Well, I know, right? Like, yeah, he's all dressed up.
Yeah, I think they're gonna be tough.
She works
using my phone because Tate's phone is not working with it.
Oh,
Second level test 2.
Perfect.
really?
It's working.
Excellent.
So I'm thinking I can just,
Now you can't airdrop to her because she doesn't have an iPhone, but most people you could just airdrop.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That would probably be easier.
Yeah, and then I just figure I can just
But
keep
at
my
least
phone.
you're
I have
calling it first
a
level instead of level
wireless
2.
charger that I
Because
can
then you know
charge
you're
my
running
phone.
into it and you call it
And I
level
can
2.
just keep it, and then you can just let me know who the riders are, and I can just drop their
Beautiful.
phone.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope
Do
you
you
have
feel
enough
warmed up
room
enough
on
to do
here.
the test?
You had traffic?
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
plenty.
So, big things on the wish list is, and it's always interesting about these like short, quick, like up and down movers. We have to create this like length of stride. Oh, I can read it to you. Okay, I thought you were going. Hold on.
I didn't even know which way I turn after all.
Okay, easy to remember. The odds go left, evens go right.
Oh, it's right. It should be green.
So we're doing second level test 2.
Yeah.
Okay. A, enter collective trot. X, halt salute. Proceed collective trot. Because it's even, C, track right. Okay, C, track right. N, V, medium trot. Second level, we need to do it sitting.
I didn't tell you about lengthening.
What?
I only posted the lengthening.
Okay, but that's where I'll work, yeah. And FB, shoulder and left, and then BX, half circle left 10 meters, EX, half circle right 10 meters. And then the shoulder in right, E to H. Good, right shoulder comes back a little bit. Good, shoulder into the right. A little more angle. Yup, and then NP, medium trot. So that's down the long side.
Yeah, you want me to send that too?
No, you can rise that. Let me just look at it. Oh, yes, okay.
It's there.
That's a beautiful trot. Okay, then we've got haunches in, K to E, and then again half circle. Half circle, 10 meters, and then haunches in the left. Second level, that's so hard. Very good. It's so technical. Good. And then straighten out, half circle. Good. And then use this next half circle to create the bend. Left, and then haunches into the left. Right shoulder back and down a little bit. Right shoulder blade down on your body. Yep, there you go. Good, and at C, medium walk. H, turn left. Between G and M, collect and half turn on the haunches left. Think about your femur. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Shoulder forward, turn the haunches left. Good, and then and then turn on the haunches to the right. Take your time. Good. Yeah, good job. M, turn right. RK, free walk. Which I always say R. Kelly. I don't know. It just reminds me that like.
I'm not going to be able to get that out of my head.
Sometimes it's the RV camp. sometimes it's the MVP, sometimes it's R. Kelly, because there's just so many tests up in here.
B or K?
R. Kelly. No, and then you canter at A.
The problem is we've got this
I
here,
know, that's
you
why I
know?
was confused for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
canter here, and then FR, medium canter, R, collected canter. Okay, and then a 3-loop serpentine line of equal loops width of the arena, simple changes of lead over the center line. Oh, the canter got a lot better. Good. Really concentrate that you cross the center line at a complete 90-degree angle.
It's not, yeah.
FE, change rein, EH, counter canter, H, medium walk. Oh, the canter's improved a ton.
Isn't it beautiful?
Way different. Good. He's separating his hind legs much, much better. Good. Collected walk, and then C, canter, right lead. NP, medium canter, P, collected canter. And then KB, change rein, BN, counter canter. And then N, collected trot. Uphill, good, careful. Yeah. Yep. Good, back to trot. Good, and then E turn left, X turn left, G halt. Oh yes. Good. Okay, come on down here and you tell me, what were your 3 favorite things about that test? Yeah. Yep. 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 Yes.
His walk is beautiful.
But that's the best. I mean, I know I haven't seen him a lot. That's the best the walk has been. Because that's going to be forever your hardest thing to do on this horse is collect his walk, right? Because he's like, you know, I can't wait to get going, which is great, right? Like, yay, you're so, like, ready to go. Great, you're so ready to go. You know, it's like, that's Denali. Like, he's ready to just, like, you know, and you're like, okay. And what were your 3 things you liked least?
I didn't like my right lead, change right to pass center. Because I was straight in that, I was trying to change. And
Yep.
I think if I would have asked him to stay straight, we would have
Yeah.
probably tried to. Our last drop at the end, very stiff,
Yep.
very short. And the first thing is that they're lengthy, probably.
Yes, I think for me, 3 things I like most. The balance in the canter is beautiful to look at. Like, it just looks beautiful to the eye, especially like coming down the long, it's just really pretty looking, you know? I liked the softness and the ease in which you did your trot lateral work. Like, and the half circle I thought was really composed and organized because he's so like zippy, you know, that it's like haunches in, haunches out, you know, that I liked it that you kept him as if he was like pulling a cart, And he was just through the 2 shafts, which is hard but good for him. The things I feel like we need to look at is the volume of the gaits. I like how you kept the same tempo in the canter, but I think there could be bigger canter. Same for the trot, obviously.
In the lengthening too? Or
What's that?
in the lengthening or just in
In
general?
the lengthening.
In the lengthening.
I think he needs to spend, okay, so I don't do this a ton with my horses, of like, extended trot, blah, blah, blah. But I'm teaching this, I've got like 4 apprentice girls who ride for me, and we have class every week, and I'm making them read a book, and then we watch videos, and then we talk about it every week. And so one of the things we've been talking about, and we just watched last week, was the road trot with Romeo, where it was like really letting him feel like if you were to run away from a pack of wolves, but you could only trot, what trot would you do, right? Because when a kid first learns to walk up the stairs, first they crawl up the stairs, then they walk up the stairs, one at a time, right? Then they can start to walk separately up. Then, at some point, then they can like run up the stairs. But before they can leap and bound 2 stairs at a time, they first have to run up the stairs, right? And so I want to kind of, it gets a little messy, and that's totally okay. So I want to just look at that in the post. And I want you to think, you know, like if you were you used to jump, right? So, you know, it's a bad feeling when you get like left behind and jump, but you're like, oh shit, you know, and you're like, ugh. There's a little bit of like, you're behind it, and it like, you don't push it in front of you because the horse is going over and jump, so he's jumping, but you get a little bit like, oops, I got behind it a little bit, I wasn't like right with it and then back down, I was a little bit, oops. In this rising trot, I want you to think about having a little bit more like knee control, and the same, like the center point, it's called the Schwerpunkt in German. So there's this like stability. Charlotte Jourdain is really obvious. Lonnie Fry is really obvious. What they look like. Adrian Lyle for our team is very much like, she's also big, so it's like, you know, but like Lonnie Fry is tiny, so it's like a great visual like. Isabel Woods also has it. She's a lot like fluffier than like Lonnie Fry is tiny and skinny, but it's like they all have this like.
It's working beautifully,
This
so I'm like, I
point
don't want to
of
touch
their,
it.
of like where they bring their energy to. So when you post, I want you to think, I call it the auction rider post because they're making these 3-year-olds trot like hell, and it's like, they're not just like trotting, right? They're like boom, 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 boom. So there's like a knee and an ab of like a push down, that you kind of like push it forward from your back. So you invite him to take that like, because what he has to start to do is this. And what he does is this, right? And so we have to kind of like make this go a little bit faster till it starts to do this. Does that make sense?
You know, the best trot lengthening that she's ever gotten on him was here one night, and you just really focused on filling out your low back and you know, forward with it.
It's like a punch.
Yeah.
But you gotta keep this piece.
That's what she was doing, yeah.
If you go here,
Yeah.
then he's gonna hollow his back and the hind legs are gonna push.
That's where, when you were just talking about, like, almost being behind it a hair.
Yes.
That was that day
Yes.
that I was like, I can't be, because he's so uphill anyways, that.
And if you're just like, if you post on him like you would post on any of his normal horse, he's gonna be like, okay, boom. You're gonna be like, boom, boom. Like you gotta like sit behind it, like, and like push it up in front of you. So let's practice. You know, and I'm not a huge fan of like every day run your horse off his feet. You know, it's like Charles is like, slow down, lengthen your reins and slow down, you know. But there's a point where it's like, okay, now I gotta shorten the reins.
Yeah.
And I gotta like, because you gotta pull the bow of arrow back before you can send the arrow, right? And like that. And so I just want you to go around the ring, a little bit shorter rings, and I want you to almost feel like, it's fine. I do this, I should do it on more horses in the academy because it's messy. That's the thing. Someone was like, The girls love it that I show the process, because it's like, y'all see, it's like, oh look, she shows, we're just winning, it looks so pretty. And it's like, it's messy.
Yeah.
Good. Post, slow, big, slow. And I want your elbows down, and I want you to almost like punch your pelvis through your elbows.
Right.
Good. On the diagonal, I want you to just shave off the corners, anchor down your elbows, and push, push, push. Doesn't matter. Good. Doesn't matter. Push. Good. If he canters, we love canters. He's starting to get up in the shoulder. Keep your fingers closed, right? Because if you're fluffing in your hands, he's going to be like, I don't know. Close your fingers. Keep your elbows. Slow, big, push, push, with your elbows down. And give them a 1, 2 with your elbows down. And you gotta post bigger and slower. And push. Something happened. Down the long side. Elbows back. Lean back. And push. Push with your leg. Push it. More than that. Something happened. Push it again. Good boy. On the diagonal. Woo! Keep your fingers closed. Keep your fingers closed. Keep your fingers closed. Good. Push it. And go. Push. Canter. Let him go. He's got to know that he goes forward. And something happened, right? And you're seeing the hind legs now. The left hind leg is like, oh shit, what am I doing? Good. Right elbow especially. Something's happening. Lean back. Push. Push. Good. Soften the left brain a little bit. Push. Keep pushing. Keep your right elbow. Lock it down. Push. On the next diagonal. Right elbow. Right ring finger. Oh my God. Don't let your reins out. Good. Lean back. Push. Aha.
There.
Push it.
Yeah.
Push it. Push it. Let him care. I don't care. Right? He's going to know that the door is open. Don't slow him down in the corner. Get your right elbow down. Aha. Now he's trotting. Good. Lean back. Push. 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 Aha. Push it again. Good. Good. Give the left right. Canter. Great. Good. Forward's always the right answer, buddy. Long canter, medium canter. Let him go. Open the back, open the back, open the back. Round in your lower back. Good. Now without slowing down, bring him to the trot. Don't let him get tight. Just stretch up, boop, outside the seat bone. And, yeah, and trot. And elbows, chest up, lean back, push, push, push. More. Leg seat. Good. More than that. Close your fingers. He's getting too long. Push it, push it, push it. He's got to get his front legs out of the way. Lean back, fingers closed, on the diagonal. Keep your fingers closed. Good. Now, push it with your seat. Aha. It's okay, canter. Great, we love canter. He's got to just get to the other side of that. Good. Medium canter down the long side. Fingers closed. Round in your low back. Round, but push. Canter. Good boy. Good boy. Good. On the over at B, back to the trot. Do not change the energy. Just change the gait.
There's your medium.
Right?
Yeah.
Now he's moving. Good. And just stretch up. Boop. Outside seat bone. Good trot. Good. And trot. And be ready. Elbows on the diagonal. Let it rip. But I want your elbows down and your fingers closed. And you're looking up at the top of the ceiling. Push. Different.
Yep.
Different. Feel that? Walk and pet him. Good job. Long right. Whew.
I think looking up helped.
What?
I think looking up to the ceiling changed something.
It did.
Can you write on my elbows?
And your fingers.
Your fingers are open.
Yeah.
Fingers are open.
I raise like this for the purpose of this, not in between my ring finger.
How do you hold it?
I hold it between my ring finger and my pinky.
Me too.
Then I hold it underneath
Yeah.
my pinky just to.
Whatever you want. Yep.
That would be a good idea.
Fingers actually right with it under.
Do they?
You can do that.
Well, because then I'm forcing you.
Yes. Put a little marble in each of your hands.
That would be good.
Or $100 bill.
And think about your thumb. This little guy, this joint of the thumb is really, really important. That not only keeps the rein length where you need it. Where's Sue?
Suzanne's up.
Suzanne, where'd she go? She's coming back in. But this is crazy. This thumb is like attached to something in the bicep, which is like attached to the lat somehow. I don't know.
Probably
Exactly.
still do it.
I don't know. She can tell you what's all attached there. All I know is this is called a little rooftop. It's like a little teepee top. And that creates suppleness in the wrist. Because we don't want to get soft hands by keeping the fingers open. That's not supple, that's just open, right? We want to keep the suppleness through the breathability through the wrist. But in this piece, you gotta like lock and load and then push it. Because he also, it's not in him to be like, for my next trick, I will do the extended trot. What he's going to be great at is piaffe and passage and canter pirouettes, right? Which you've done a super job at, right? Like you're like, people are going to watch you school the canter pirouette at every clinic, and then they're like, oh, she's showing first level, what the hell? But you couldn't get to the canter any other way than that, you know? Because his highlight is piaffe and passage and pirouettes, which good news, that's all coefficients. The walk is too, so that's not so easy. But, you know, the other things that long warm bloods are like, pirouettes are hard, piaffe is hard. He's like, I got this. Extended trot, looseness, elasticity, swing and flow. You got to train that into him. But that's part of like every day we talk about like what are the 3 things we need to do every day in the daily vocabulary. Number 1, long and short stride, long and short frame, bending and the ability to go straight, right? And so for him, his weakest piece is that long stride. So we have to work on that a little bit. And I like to make it kind of fun.
Yeah.
But like my body is like boof, and like I am in, and I'm pushing it like upward.
What can also help me a lot is, I don't know, I used to have a very, basic massage saddle, which it didn't have locks on it, or like a high panel. And I used to be kind enough to let me use Wilker's old saddle for it, it fits him. And that is helping me.
It looks good.
And, I mean, obviously I still need work, but it helps me stay more together for him.
Yes.
JJ, I have a question for you. So, it seems like he's so sensitive, and so that's part of the open finger thing. Is kind of like walking in a crystal store. You're afraid you're going to break something.
Yeah, we get like
Don't
here
because he's
on a horse like this.
Yeah, and what he's got to, I think, learn.
He's got a blanket of like a thunder shirt.
And she has to learn it too, because it seems counterintuitive at first to think if my hands are closed and I'm giving a boundary, that's going to make my horse go bigger. But he has to learn that he can count on that boundary and that he can trot through it.
Correct.
And so what you just did with her, that's the way to get there. And she rides outside a lot. I bet he would really be good outside.
Yeah, I would go into a field with high grass
Oh,
and freaking make him trot like that.
that's a cool idea.
I mean, Fiji was like a super normal horse. He was the opposite. He was like really like laid back and calm. And I would shorten my reins and I would just poof, like punt, and all of a sudden, I did a lot of cavaliers too to help swing the back.
That would help him.
That would help a lot. Even if you just walk them for a long time, make walking cavaliers, do a walk pirouette, walk over the cavaliers, do another walk pirouette, walk back and forth, and then teach them how to swing the back like that. But it really is this, what creates a big trot is this ability to roll the shoulder blades more and move the hips more. And those don't work as big if the horse is braced in the back. Right? So there's this little tiny brace in his back, which makes it go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So he's a little bit here, and so you gotta make him a little bit there, so that he can like roll through his bigger joints.
Well, his weak, you could just see his confirmation. He's weak behind the saddle. He just.
But it's so much better.
So much better.
So much better. Yeah, there is a little dip there.
But it's not like it was.
No, he is doing that.
It's so much better. And I could see immediately when you picked up canter, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's very different.
That's why we like a lot of canter in his house, because we can do things there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do a little more canter work because I want to. And I am the world center of math offense. You know, I mean, you get over there, and I'm like, I see videos from my American trainer friends, and I was like, they're like, oh, you know, you don't put anything on Facebook you're not kind of proud of. I mean, I don't put whatever on Facebook because I'm like, this is the process. It's okay. It's messy or ugly or whatever. But a lot of people like only put on like what's like, and I'm like, it looks half dead. Like it's like sleeping.
Yeah.
Because, and I remember last year when I went over there, I was like, holy shit! Like Americans we're running at like half power, where these Germans are like, you know, and you're just like, whoa. It's exciting because the horses are alive, and it's you know, that's why like the whole town comes out. If there's a stallion show, and people are bringing their young stallions to show off to the breeders, and their sons are coming, you know, and they like do this like presentation, and it's like exciting because it's like, wow, look at it move, you know. In America, we'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
let me take it out for an hour in my rope halter so it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Which I like to be safe. I love my rope halter. Like I'm out there, you know, doing all kinds of stuff too. But what's amazing is like the Germans are like it's like about to erupt, and it's exciting, and so you want to watch it because it's these girls are like they're sitting and these horses are moving, and that's a 3-year-old, and we slowly just kill it.
Yeah.
So it's behaved, you know, but it actually gets more behaved when you freaking go forward on it, and you don't stop energy, you channel energy, and so that's, I mean, my hat's off to these brave girls because I see the thing lunging and I'm like, ooh, I'm not getting on that thing. I'm getting into the crowd, you know, and they're like, they come riding in and it's like lock and load, and we gotta a little bit put that into him a little bit.
I think he needs to live there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And get comfortable in it, because I think that will come back to like, it sounds completely backwards, but I think it might mentally make him come back and be quieter at the slower gates.
Exactly. There is a sense of you also on a horse like this, you have to find a couple different exercises that empty him out. Right? Like I had a mare who was hot like this, spooky as shit, light in the bridle and hot. And I'm like, whew. And she didn't swing in the trot. She could piaffe like a beast. She never pulled on the contact, and she never really swung, is that a word? She wouldn't swing in the trot, right? Every 10 days, I would have to take her down my long driveway up in Walworth, Wisconsin, and I'd have to hand gallop her up my driveway to double drive, because she would not pull through the bit. So if she was never taking the bit, I would never be able to make her swing. He's also light, right? And so he's not really, you know, and so.
That's where those closed hands have got to happen.
Like you gotta have your team Tate bossy seat, so he he can like punch off of something, right? And there's like a on the top of your post that's like, and every day, I mean, I'm not a big fan of like, oh, no, seat, right? That's not what we're doing. What you're doing is you're exposing him to his limit. Where is the end of you?
Right.
Every day we gotta ask, how close are you to piaffe? How close are you to extended trot, right? Because extension is collection. Collection is extension. So the fact that he can sit so well means that there is a hell of an extended trot in there. He just doesn't know how to do it yet. So it's skill building. So let's do a little bit more in the canter. I just want to spiral in and then spiral out and then medium canter, collected canter. Shoulder forward. Good. Thinking about inter-rotation of your femur. Keeping your roundness in your low back. Think about the W of the now. You want to almost like pull up his thoracic sling. You're sitting up to sit down. Slower than that, not so small. And make it more of just a 10, like let's do an 8-meter circle. So don't let him go too much haunches in. Good. Keep your left seat bone. Yes. The same. Outside aids gently because he's drifting to the right. Out. Almost like a tiny bit right bend without his haunches coming in. Good. There you go. Outside aids. Think about the right hind leg has to step into your right elbow. keep your right ring finger close, right? Because he runs that right shoulder out because your right hand is open. And I don't mind the kick on the right shoulder, but think about your thigh and your right ring finger. Not so much haunches in. Good, now you're gonna leg heeled out, but take your time. And I almost want you to leg heeled out with a right flexion, if you could. A little rond, take your time. Nope, too fast. Yeah. So get back on the 12-meter circle, and I'm giving you a little rond bear feeling. So you're gonna be looking to the right with his hind legs to the right, gently. There. Slow it down. Slow it down. But your right thigh has to control that. There, you feel that? Now he's stacked up. Do you see how the canter got different? Is that Ron Bear feeling? Good, because his ass is always to the left. But don't chase it out to the right. I just want him to be straight. Yeah, so go out to the 20-meter circle. Good, and your outside thigh and elbow. Good, and on this 20-meter circle, ride a little shoulder forward to the left. Good, keep it the same rhythm. Good, now gently, when you reach the track again, ride it gently to right flexion. Good, so lower your left rein, right ring finger, right thigh. Keep cantering. Keep cantering. There, feel that? There he's stacked up. There he's stacked up. Keep cantering. Because of course when you get him stacked up, the rhythm is gonna, like the canter integrity is gonna, because it's a speed evasion. And he's very quick. Speed evasion, crooked evasion. Speed, crooked speed, crooked speed, crooked speed, right? The good news is down a bit, so that's cool. Yes. Nope. Hind limbs are too far left. Good. But instead of, that a girl, that's your canter. Now in that position, give me a medium canter on this circle. Good. In that stacked up, good. Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, more canter, more canter. Stay there. This is a 6 on the number, on the energy level scale. Bring it up to a 7. Canter, 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 canter. Longer step, longer step, longer step. More canter, more canter. That's a 7. Stay at the 7. Stay at the 7. Stay at the 7. Long. Do you feel it? Because he wants to back off. Good, good. Yeah. Now go up to an 8 because he's moving. That's going to help be helpful. Up to the 8. Up to the 8. Up to the 8. Stay at the 8. Stay at the 8. Stay at the 8. And that's hard actually. And now you all of a sudden have to drive the running horse, right? Good. Which is crazy. He's always freaking running. I'm always trying to slow him down. That's the girl. Now back to the 7. But don't let him shift to the 6. Good. Now you can come to the 6. Good. Now you can come to the 5. Good. Back to the 6. Back to the 7. Back to the 7. Good. Stay at the 7. Stay at the 7. Stay at the 7. Up to the 8. Up to the 8.
There you
Up to the 8. Exactly. Up to the 8. Stay at the 8. Stay at the 8. Stay at the 8. Stay at the 8. Awesome. Back to the 7. Good. And now back to trot in your 7. Good. Stretch up. Hands quiet and post it. And trot. 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 Up. Keep your fingers closed. Push it. Up. Up. Diagonal. Let him trot. Keep your fingers. Trot. Push it. Yeah, good. But now he's running up the stairs. Right? Before he can go 2 at a time, he's got to run up the stairs a little bit. Good. Walk. Give him a little rest. We're going to do the same thing on the right leg. I just want to sometimes touch the trot sometimes, right? Because what he's got to learn to do, yeah, sweet sound of submission. Right? That release I always call snorts and farts. That's when you know they're starting to let go. He needs that. He's giving you a physical response of whoop.
That was the
Shaking
best,
up my molecule.
that was the best lengthened canter I've seen him
It was
do.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was stacked up and
Isn't it crazy? And you can like slow the thing down forever. There's some ride the running horse.
No.
Because why they're short and quick is because they're tight. And you only find real looseness till you kind of get over the tightness. Which is like, that's dressage, right? Like, slow down to go bigger. Sit up to sit down. Go bend to go straighter better. It's kind of great.
I could see how that exercise could help everything, every gait.
Oh my God. Well, and like the soccer cones, like the minute you put your soccer cones out on there's a really good video in the Academy with Montana, I think, about counting strides.
Oh,
That's amazing. I just now, every day in Germany, I put the cones out.
really?
Because I'm like, what is my canter? Because we're also talking about flying changes. His best canter, he's gonna have to hit between P and B at least 5 strides. 4 if we could be perfect, right?
And that might be his problem, he's gonna find changes, but again, he's so light up front, and he doesn't wanna go ahead, like, I'm supposed to sitting down stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, I can get it if I'm really slamming them together, but I don't like doing that, but you're right, he's trying to taste better.
Yes. Exactly. And that's the thing, you can make it happen because you're a great rider and you can I can jam them up and do it. But it's about the integrity of the canter. And there has to be a ba-ba-bum, 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 ba-ba-bum. And he goes ba-ba-bum, 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 or bum, 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 right? So you gotta get that in the canter, which is what this does. And every warm-up, I mean, I live 45 minutes from where the European Championships are being held. I live 2 hours from Aachen. I'm just there, staring at the warm-up, right? I don't need a ticket. I just need to sit here with my coffee and just watch, Forward, back, forward, back, forward, back. At the end of the day, dressage is about, can I come back? Can I go forward? Can I turn right? Can I turn left? Sounds easy when I say it, because it's freaking not easy. But it's simple, but it's not easy.
They're still on
Do the same thing on
Okay,
the right
so
side.
the third lesson is almost done. She's
And again, it isn't about running at all. And every day we have to check on his scale, right? There's always
probably 5 minutes.
like a scale, how straight are you, right? And how collected can I make you, right? The scale of can I collect you? Can I, if perfection is in the middle, which would be 5, can I collect you 1? Can I extend you towards 10? And he's like, you know what I'm really good at? 1 to 5. You know what I'm not great at? 5 to 10. And so that's where we know our work is. Bring his left shoulder around a little bit with your thigh and your reins. Good. Sit, sit, sit. Think about it in your seat. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Good. With a little bit of this roll at the end. Good. Lifting your pubic. Up, up. That's good. You feel the shoulders? Excellent. Good. And now lay heel down, but take your time. Because we know he's a slider. Right? He's woo, look, I did it. And it's okay, you need to step sideways, not slide sideways. Good. And now stay on this 20-meter circle in that shoulder 4. Right? So his right hind leg needs to step under your seat. Well, good. Now gentle left flexion. So it's almost Ronbear position. Good. Think about lowering that girl. Good. Yes, lower your right rein. So invite the withers to the right. Good, because I need more freedom through his right elbow and his right knee. Bring his withers. I want the sharp fin of his wither in front of his right stifle. Without letting the circles get smaller. Right? So there's got to be a push out, but a bringing the withers in. Good. Be careful not to kick him too much with your right foot. Why? Because in 6 months, that's your flying change aid. Good, right leg closer up to the front of the girth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Why? Because that's going to be your flying change aid in 6 months or 3 months. Turn your body to the right. There, that put the right hip under his body. Good, and right hand low and left flexion. Ron Bear feeling. Push his tail, bring his withers to the right. There you go, there you go. Yes, you feel that? Atta girl. Now gently up to the 5. Good, you can let him flex right, but I don't want him to collapse into the bend. Right, that's that right hind leg. Good, good, up to the 6. Roll it, roll it. Up to the, stay at the 6. Good, that got longer, did you feel it? Excellent. Nope, not that tight, keep it the 6. Keep it the 6. Now push it up to the 7. Up to the 7. Up to the 7. We can all see it from the ground. His tail's to the right and his ass is to the right. And the left shoulder is out. Guess what? He's normal. Good, canter. Keep it up at a 7. Let him roll. Let him roll. Let him roll without falling. There you let him get too crooked. But you gotta fix, you gotta fix the crooked while you drive it forward without speed, right? That's hard. Up to the 8. 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 Yep, the right hind leg. There he separated the hops. There he separated. And then he drive down because he's like, shit, this is hard. Good, forward. And when you make the correction, you gotta keep riding long strides. Back to the 7. Keep the hind legs pushing to the contact. Excellent. Different. Down to the 6, but he's got to keep stepping to the bit. Good. Because you got to collect him, but he's got to keep pushing the hind legs to the bit. Up to the 7. Up to the 7. Up to the 7. That's your 7. Now up to the 8. Up to the 8. Up to the 8. Up to the 8. That's a girl. But he's got to look to the right. Yes, back there you go. Back to the 7. Wonderful. And back to the trot. Good job. And now let him stretch down a little bit. Slow, slow, slow. So that every time we don't go like gangbusters back into the trot. Does that make sense? Because he's also like, okay, here we go. But sometimes we go, sometimes we don't go. Pat him on the outside. Because here I would like him to snort and be loose in the back. Good. Keep him gently chewing under your right rein. There with like a little leg yield off your right leg, if that makes sense. Good. More bend to the right. Good. More bend. Turn in on the circle and leg yield him out. That feeling. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Push him out in that circle. Longer neck. Good. Lower, longer neck. Now that's the neck I want. Because he also needs development there. Good. Rhythm. Rhythm in your belt buckle. Rhythm. Rhythm. Longer reins. But not faster the stride. Longer reins. Power in your back.
I get frustrated with this because every time you walk away, when I do that, I feel like I'm just running off like a chicken.
But his hind feet are now in the front feet footprints. Pat him on the outside. Good. Good. Pat him on the outside. Well done. There, that got better.
Yeah.
But now, but he's bent right, because he gets tricky, right? He just good, walk and pat. Excellent. So I want you to think about how he's stretching. Does that make sense? And he does need a little help with that, because that's not his leg jam. And part of the longer stride is going to be related to that longer frame.
But I like your idea of stepping in and feeling out because he does like that little bit of like, yeah.
Yeah, and you don't really like for me, you have to be riding him at that stretch is going to be like as tricky as riding, trickier than your freaking canter pirouette, right? Because like he just like is like, whoa, you know, and so that definition of your post is also gonna be, there's a good video in the academy of like, waiting and yielding, what is it called? Oh, it's with Montana. And it's like waiting and yielding on the bit with Montana. Because there is like a wait. Are you waiting for me? But can I send you sideways? Because if you, on this linear path of him running, if you're just like, don't run, don't run, don't run, that chokes him up in himself.
Yeah.
So you gotta like make his shoulders wait, but you're gonna drive the hind leg longer. Make the shoulders wait, drive the hind leg longer. And that's gonna be like forever.
Yeah. I would think it's never
No. He'll get better at it, and it'll be like less like, oh, he's running out of control. But like, I love this like turn in, leg yield out. Half halt, turn in, leg yield out. Because he's got to get to this point where he can like separate his front legs to his back legs, right? And his shoulders are always running. You've gotten the neck longer, which is awesome, right? But that never is going to end for him to get that, like just like Suzanne's horse. We're going to always try to make him shorter. Why? Because he's big and ground covered and beautiful. He's short and up and down. So we got to slowly like fan him open. And Suzanne's horse, we're going to slowly fan back. And every horse starts on their own spot on the scale. And we're just going to tick the meter back to whatever the horse, you know. And then Charles is always like, the horse has to do what he needs and not he wants. And it's usually the opposite. Piaffe massage, pirouette, awesome. What's going to be hard? Lengthening, stretching down, anything to like open up his body. That horse is like, I'm beautiful and big and skinny and suspended. You gotta, slowly shorten his accordion. This horse's accordion has to get exposed to being open. And that's what you have to do. And then the minute you expose your horse to something new, it's like, I'm going to bring the tarp out, right? Like how many times it's like, first time you expose them to like, let's think about just touching the tarp or getting near it. In 2 weeks or whatever, they're going to be running over the tarp. But that first exposure is like, and that's for him. He's like, Ooh, that's a big one.
I think there's a chart.
Yeah, this is a whole shoulder.